Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And what you're looking at is the software that comes with the Fifi SDR, little SDR radio. I've done a review of it, and it's about, no, I'd say 3 inches by 5 inch little box, and it's best on the HF bands, and it does what I consider an excellent job on the HF bands. This right here is 2.5 megahertz, which is WWV out of Colorado. I typically can't get that on my other radios because the local medium wave stations bleed in on top of it. But the Fifi is doing a pretty good job. I can hear in the background a medium wave station, but it's pretty low in amplitude. Right now I'm using their software, the Fifi software, and what it is, it's a cut down version of the Bonito software, which is they have the Bonito software is designed for a number of scanner radios, for instance, and for some SDRs, and it's quite expensive. I think it's, I'm not sure about this, but it seemed like the last time I priced it, it was like $300, depending on which version you wanted. So the people at Fifi have gotten this. They claim it's a stripped down version, but it's got a lot of functions of which I haven't even begun to learn how to use. But what I'm doing this morning is I'm kind of going through looking for utility stations. Now, what I mean by utility stations, I mean like time stations, weather reports, all on HF band. And I was amazed to find WWV down at 2.5 coming in so good. As you can see from the graph there, it's pretty clean. Now we turn the audio back up here. Now what you're hearing now is probably a medium wave station. And right for this second, I can barely hear the ticks of the clock from WWV. Now, when I first, okay, there was the signal on the minute, and it's coming and going. It's right now 7 o'clock in the morning here in Florida, Clearwater, Florida. And when I first started turning this about half hour ago, it was coming in perfect. But now it's starting to fade out. Now I normally, like I say, can't get WWV way down here. Now let me try 5 megahertz, which is this time of morning I can usually get it pretty good. So let's crank up to 5 megahertz. Oh, there it is, loud and clear.
At the tone, 12 hours, 6 minutes, Coordinated Universal Time.
Now, what you were hearing in the background, pretty low in the background, when I first tuned to 5 megahertz, is you heard the female voice of WWV, which comes out of Hawaii, which is pretty far away from me. So anyway, I've got a listing here of utility stations, and I'm just going to try a few of them. What the heck? Let's, and some of them may not be on the air this time of morning. Let me try the Canadian time signal, which should be on 24/7, and it's at 333 kilohertz, 333.0 kilohertz. Now I turn the volume back up. Yeah, there it is. Pretty strong signal. It just had announced the time on the minute, so I'll have to wait till it goes back around to the minute, and I'll stop talking. I'll stop now. Okay, there. I don't know if you heard. There was the announcement. The call sign is CHU, and it gave the time. Let's try something else. I've got a long list of ones. Like I say, some of which are not always broadcasting. Let's see. Let's try a VOL MET station that usually broadcasts weather conditions. And I've got a bunch of them here. Let me just try one. Oh gosh, which one do we want to try? I had one here I was going to try, and when I started running my mouth, I couldn't find it. 5505. Nope. If you look at the waveform there, nothing there but noise. So that one's not there right now. What else can we try that might be busy, might be on the air? Here's another Canadian time signal at 7850. Since we got the one, let's see if we can get this one up here at higher frequency. 7850. Yeah, that one's coming in strong. Now you might be asking yourself, why the heck is he even bothering with these kind of stations? The reason being is, since these stations, especially the time and weather stations, they're on 24/7, most of them, well, some of them, few of them, and you can use them as a reference of conditions. They're your reception conditions at your site with your setup. So and they're all with a band, so you can try different bands. So I can, if I'm interested in this band right here at 7.8 and thereabouts, I can go to 7.850 and see if I'm receiving anything. If I am, maybe I should receive other stations. So that's the reason I use these utility stations. Let's try a few more and then we'll call it quits. Of course, 10 megahertz is very popular time station in the United States. Another good reference to get down there. Got to learn how to use this program better. Yeah, there it is. And you can, like I say, you can use these as an indication of propagation. Are stations in that band at that time that you're listening, are they coming in? And are they coming in from certain parts of the world? And you can make yourself a little chart of these stations to use for that purpose. and put down the frequency. Like you can put down uh, the time for WWV, and they're on 2.5, 5, 10 megahertz, 15 megahertz, 20 megahertz, and sometimes 25. So if you want to listen to, say, stations in the 15 megahertz band and you're not getting anything, you could tune to WWV at 15 megahertz, and it should be there, and you can find out whether you are receiving it. If you're not receiving it, well, you may not receive other signals. Now, of course, that station is at one location, actually two locations, and that's in Colorado in the United States and Hawaii out in the Pacific. So if you can receive that Hawaii station, which comes on, it's a female voice, it comes on before the male voice, then that means you're able to receive stations way over there. Or maybe it's close to you, maybe it's not. So that's what I use these for. Another one, let me see another one. And weather stations are another one where they have a voice broadcast of weather conditions. Let me see if I can get one. I don't know if I can or not this time of morning, because those don't broadcast 24/7. Like one out of Mobile, Alabama. Now that's close to me, so I probably wouldn't normally use that one. Maybe one on the west coast of Florida, which is in California. They're on a couple of different frequencies. I'm trying to find one that might be able to receive this time of day. Well, here's one way up at 12.786 megahertz. Probably can't get that. I don't usually get the higher frequencies this time of morning. 786. 1270.86. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Not there. Just noise. Nothing above the noise. So I'm not getting them. They may not be broadcasting right this minute. So that could be it. Maybe one more. Let's try the other WWV transmissions. Let's try 15 megahertz. Like I say, I'm not very familiar with this program. I need to learn it more because the Fifi works the best with this program. I just tried, before I started recording, I tried SDR console, and for some reason it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what makes it work, what makes it not work with this SDR. I don't think I'm receiving anything there. Nope. So that kind of tells me, and it's, again, it's just an indication. It's not 100%, but it tells me I'm not, probably won't receive anything up at that high frequency this time of day. So that's just an indicator. And I could go to 20 megahertz, but it's probably even worse. They do broadcast, I don't know if they made it permanent or not, but they do broadcast at 25 megahertz. Again, that would be a good indication whether you're receiving the high frequency bands. And of course, another way is to use, if you have an SDR, is to use an SDR and just use this spectrum display and look at the display. So anyway, that's the show. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.